Oh, it's so great to see everybody. All right. Well, we got Ollie bombarding us with messages. I'm gonna try to focus on talking to you guys. So if somebody can be chatting to Ollie so that Ollie is kept entertained also on the chat level. So one thing is my internet is complaining that the connection is unstable. In case it ever spits me out, just wait for me. I'm gonna be back within 1 minute. Okay, tops. So, okay, people. Hello, a warm welcome to our 5th leadership meetup. And today we decided to have a meetup that is with Q&A, so questions and answers around the Leadership Festival. We've announced just a couple of days ago our program, and we know the formats. We know to 90% how it's going to go. The 10% is going to be the magic that's going to happen, or maybe the other way around, you know. So we're very happy to be here together with you and to share the story that brings us here, and together with you see how to elevate the value of the festival even more so that it benefits us all and it benefits the field. How I would like to go about the conversation is I would like to have a quick session in a second for all of us to check in. So we hear where we're coming from and what's the intention we'll bring into the circle today. And then I would like to share with you what's the intention of the festival, where it comes from, describe to you the 4 tracks into which we divided the program, and tell you about a couple of formats we created that we are super excited to share with you. And then I would open space for some conversation and for us looking at the festival together and check in what we actually envision it should provide and offer all of us, and how can it make it in the best and most fantastic way possible. So, is that okay for everybody?
Yep.
Okay.
Don't forget about Ollie.
Now we got Ollie's answer here. We're good. Okay. So for the check-in, I'm curious, what is your intention for joining us today? So if you could check in with the place you're joining in from. We know that from almost everybody, but just say briefly your name and where you're joining us from, and what's the intention that brings you here today.
Okay, shall I start? My name is Dirk from Hamburg. I'm working as a freelance consultant and helping companies to create a good way through the digital transformation. And I'm thinking about joining you guys in June, and I like the holistic approach from your conference, and I'm very curious about it.
Great to have you here, Dota.
Thanks.
Three, two, one, someone else go.
Ollie started already.
Yeah, Ollie saying that interested in volunteering because I do events like this too. So great to have you here, Ollie. All right, I'm gonna go like that. Anya, how about you?
I'm quite familiar. Okay, I'm from Warsaw, and some time ago I joined the team that is preparing this amazing event. I really like what Dorothy said about the holistic approach, which I think is lacking in organizations. that we, choose some aspects of managing people, and others are somewhere, and they're very important. And I'm quite familiar with the program, but I'm really interested in what's going on and what can we, I don't know, change or do something to improve the program or improve the festival. Yeah, I think that's all from me.
Great to have you here.
Thanks.
How about you, George?
Yes, hi everybody. I'm Georg from Bonn. So I'm, let's say, with Carolina and Sylvia since last years when we have been in this retreat. And we were in cups around this leadership festival during the year. And I was always asking, so what is the reason? What is the emotional aspect I should go there? And they said, yeah, we will come back. We will come back. And I was waiting. And when I was visiting recently your website, I was flashed. I said, okay, that's it. Let's go. So everything is there. I like very much, very short and comprehensive. Emerge is the keyword. So, and I had a couple of experiences in the last time, so many good things just emerged by doing nothing. And for me, this is going to be 2 days doing nothing and making so much emergence. So I'm really looking forward to, and definitely today I would like to understand a little bit about the program, how we can contribute, what we can do, whatever. So this is my intention for being here.
Great. How about you, Aga?
Hello, everyone. I'm working with, I don't know how to say, participating in this wonderful project, Leadership Festival. So today I'm here because I was so curious who will be with us today, because we send messages to all people and everybody are busy, and the whole week we are trying to push and invite people to get free tickets for online meetup. So that's why my mainly task was last week to do this. And I'm in this project because I think leadership, especially in Poland, needs still really good leaders in the companies, and it's a really together with leaders. So this is very important for me, leadership, and I'm curious also to take part in Leadership Festival and listen to these great leaders from Europe and from all over the world. For teams, yeah. So yeah, I'm glad. Thank you.
Great to have you here again. You guys, yeah, I switched off my video because my internet is complaining, and I'd rather hear you with a good quality, and and have you also be able to hear me. I am here today because we experienced at this festival that we're hosting, that it's best explained in stories that we tell personally. And Georg, your check-in made me laugh a lot, because indeed you sent me these 2 emails asking very relevant questions, asking like, all right, what's my takeaway? What's my benefit? What are the points that would convince me? And I was thinking to myself, goodness gracious, girl, buckle up. What is the answer? And then I didn't have the time to send you this answer because at some point an email came from you saying, okay, I'm coming. And I thought to myself, I'm really curious, like which of the things we communicated with the world and sent out to the world was the one to make the difference. But it's a really an extremely exciting dynamics around the festival. So I like that this dynamics is already showing up in the check-in round. And you know what, guys, when I was thinking, I was just sitting down before this meetup to gather my thoughts and to meditate a little bit and see what's the most meaningful to share today with you. And I thought that the core message and the core story is the story that, and let me see if I can share my screen with you. Can you see my screen? You should be able to.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a graphic we haven't published yet. We want to publish it together with an article on why the festival is called Emerge. And these are only on Facebook, the communities that are talking about this, what we call the new. So there are over 85,000 people talking about reinventing organizations. Statistically, I understand many issues people might have with this graph because, for example, holacracy is seen as part of reinventing organizations. But just to show you what's happening. Then there are 10,000 people talking about holacracy, 24,000 talking about theory U, 9,000 talking about art of hosting, 2,000 talking about process work. So these all are the communities globally that have been for a time period from, I guess reinventing organizations is the youngest one from them, starting maybe 4 years back, but the process work and art of hosting and open space, they've been doing that for the last 15, 20 years. And by doing that, I mean supporting people in organizing, both in organizations, but also in groups in a new way that allows you to live your full talents and that allows people to show up fully also, show up fully with all their quirkiness. So with all their, all them being funny or being strange, so whatever is the strangest talent you've got. And these movements had the aim to work with the collective intelligence and help people to come up with the most clever and smart solution to challenges. And us being members of all of those communities and working globally and working also locally a lot, what we have noticed some year ago is all of these movements and all of these communities, they focus on how we organize in a new way. But what started being really visible for us and something we no longer could ignore is that they all imply a completely new way of leading in organizations. And this is what we decided to focus. So we started the festival from saying, hey, all those beautiful communities of committed people, they actually are trying to do or reach the same purpose in the world. So they're trying to create a certain world at work that is going to be of a different quality. So that was our initial thought. And then as we decided we need to start a place where all of these communities can meet and see what connects them actually, very fast what emerged to us is, hey, all of these communities also mean that if you're a leader in a team, in a group, in an organization, that you need to lead with different tools and you need to lead with a different paradigm. So that's the core where the whole festival came from. And then you can, if you know those communities and if you know how they work, then you also will know that they all have purpose in their core. So they're all trying to achieve something specific. Have you all guys switched off your videos?
No.
I can only see Aga's video. Okay. So all of these communities and all of these movements, what they have at their core is the purpose. So all of them ask, what is the change we want to make? What is the change in our lives we want to make? What is the change in the world we want to make? What is the need in the world that we see? And this is basically where our 4 tracks come from, because if you want to see the purpose, if you want to see the vision, then the first thing you or each of us needs is being connected to our own individual purpose. So if I am not connected to my own individual purpose, it's going to be more difficult for me to co-create a purpose of an organization. And it's going to be more difficult for me also to understand what is the purpose of the organization. That's why the first track we're starting with is the track that's called Self. And these are various tools and stories of how people went this path, and inspirations, solutions, or questions that share and show with you how to be connected with your personal purpose and how to move in the space of purposeful organizations or purpose-driven organizations, so that you feel connected to the purpose of the organization. So basically, how do I know what is a purpose of an organization? How do I find it out? Where do I know it from? Where do I look it up? And the second track is the track with the focus on everyday. Because being purpose-driven is not only something that is happening on like a conference or a retreat or a strategic meeting. So the question is, if you're working in such a type of organization that is a purpose-driven organization or a for-purpose organization, how do you keep your teams energized on the everyday level, and how do you keep them healthy and happy and motivated? What are your actual tools for the everyday work? And the third track, which is our largest track, and it seems obvious, is the track of focus on organizations. And this is we're very excited about each of these tracks, but we're especially very excited about this track because this track brings you and brings all of us very many business cases of how people implement purpose-driven leadership in their organization. It brings us very many tools that can support us. Tools from holacracy as an operating system for organization to tools like applications for running a teal organization. And then there's the fourth track that is called Focus on the World, because what we see is when you ask about purpose in organizations, you very often land in a place where organizations also focus on the world and what it is that they want to change in the world. Could I repeat track 3? Track 3, really, track 3, what I was saying is track 3 is the one we're most excited about because it's focused on organizations. So maybe that was my excitement that got channeled, you guys, and internet couldn't cope with it. And I just described the tracks to you in a very brief manner, and I had to hold myself back because in a second I would like to show you the program and walk you through the program and show you the examples, but I just wanted to give you a brief introduction. How does that sound so far? Good, thank you.
Very interesting.
Yeah, great. You know what, also as I'm speaking, I'm realizing one of the things with emergence. One of the things is some things are visible, but some things are still becoming. And as I'm saying, purpose-driven leadership or for-purpose enterprise or purpose-driven organizations, I'm realizing that there is the part also in us as a team and in every one of us that goes like, yes, this is what it's called. It's called purpose-driven leadership. And there is also the part in us that says, well, let's keep an open inquiry. We still don't know how it's really called, because it might be that it's purpose-driven leadership, but it might be that this is not the name yet. So I wanted to share at this point with you also the process we are also in. You know, that we wouldn't like to jump to conclusions prematurely. We want to be there in the process until things indeed manifest themselves with a level of certainty where each of us has goosebumps and goes like, whew, yeah. You know, and sometimes things manifest and they take themselves back. And this is also a really important way of how to move in a space when you're witnessing something emerging, and how to move in a space where together with witnessing it, you're co-creating it. So that's it's really exciting, and that's also reflected in our 5 core values. And I would like to tell you about our values as well, because that describes how we walk the talk. But before we do that, I would like to share with you our program. And here we go. You should be able to see on your screen our program. Can you all see it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Has started screening.
Now.
Now, okay. So I'm not gonna go step by step, but I'm just gonna tell you a couple of things as an appetizer. So one of the things is the thing that's happening at 8:30. Why there's a check-in ritual is because when you guys are entering the space and we're in a building that the photo you can see on the webpage is the photo of the actual location. So we are in a place where the room is round and the ceiling is made of glass, which is completely insane. And we can, like, the whole group can sit in a circle. So that's great. And when you're entering the space, you're gonna check in, you're gonna sign your signature, put your name there, and then there's gonna be a small ritual. So everybody's gonna have this moment where you individually for yourself check in into the space with the intention of helping you realize what's going to be happening inside is something else than what's happening outside. And this is a beginning of a journey that's going to be both on an individual and collective level with this group. And this is also the beginning of the deep time for the next 2 days. So it's a little bit a space that runs by different rules. And I think we all know it from conferences and those moments of rich exchange and rich learning. And because we're working with all these levels, also the level of self, and in the self there is also this deep connection to your own purpose. We want to give everybody the chance to, like, really check in, be there for a second with yourself, check how it feels like entering the space, and enter it based on a decision. So that's the check-in ritual, and we're hoping to design something really beautiful for you. We got a couple of ideas, which I'm obviously not going to share with you. So then the second thing I would like to tell you about is the opening panel that's happening at 11. Because we got our keynotes and they're really great, but I'm going to talk about them in just a second because they're going to reappear in a second. The opening panel is where we invite Grażyna Piotrowska-Oliwa, who's the CEO of Virgin Mobile, Ana Claudia Gonçalves and Tom Thomason from Encode, and John Shera, who's been supporting organizations in self-organization for the last 20 years. And this all is hosted by Małgorzata Bonikowska from Think Tank, which is a very strong organization in Poland, really committed to connecting politics, business, and academia world. So this is an incredibly focused, smart, and fast-thinking woman. So in this opening panel, what our intention is to ask these leaders to ask them what they see already that is emerging from this new paradigm, what they experience, what they have access to, so that we all start on the same page, so that we all start from the same level, so that them being from Poland, the States, and Portugal, so like from very different places geographically and also from very diverse types of organizations, if they agree on something, then it might be that it's kind of a common sense. So we want to have everybody start with the same base, which we can then discuss. And then, as you can see, there's always gonna be things happening on the main stage. And they're always divided into tracks. The tracks have their color coding, so it's self, everyday, world, and organization. And the things that are happening on the main stage are talks. So there, everybody has 20 minutes to present something and 10 minutes for Q&As. And for example, we have Philippe Pinot, who had his birthday yesterday. Congratulations, happy birthday, Philippe. And Philip is the founder of Hola Spirit, an application that allows you to run holacracy in your organization. So if you're working with holacracy, this is one of the 2 core apps currently in the world that helps you to manage your organization and check your progress. Then Peter Ivanov is a completely crazy guy who has 5 daughters and runs in some crazy events. I just saw him on Facebook recently running in things I couldn't even understand and getting one medal after the other. So this guy has an incredible amount of energy. And what Peter just published his book on success practices for remote teams. And just like we are meeting online, we know that so much work is getting done in a remote way and by remote teams. So we're inviting him to share. He's been working remotely for the last 20 years. So I think it feels for me like since the beginning of internet, but I'm slowly realizing internet has been there for longer now. So Peter is sharing from this like very practical level, what are the practices, what has worked for the teams that he's been running and facilitating. And then we got the whole track that's related to everyday, and again we got Corporate Wellness Hardcore by Julia Raszkiewicz, who runs something that's called in Poland Runmageddon, which are like hardcore marathons with her organization. And she started running by herself, then she started running with her team, and now the whole organization is doing that. So we see more and more people just doing really crazy things in terms of sports, to energize their teams and to also create experiences they have together. And it's no longer things like having a barbecue together, but it's things like going to the desert for a marathon. Then U2I is an organization that was founded in New York, and their second base is in Krakow. And they contacted us saying, you guys, we were presenting recently on this conference because we have this model of working as an organization, and then suddenly someone told us this is really innovative how we run, and we didn't realize there's anything special about how we work. So U2I are an organization that from the beginning were founded in Poland, based on the assumption we want this team to be self-organized, and they're very aware of all the solutions for self-organization currently out there in the world, and they said, no, we're gonna design our own model system methodology. So they did that. They've been doing that for a couple of years now, and there's gonna be 3 of them sharing how it actually works for them. And then at 4 o'clock, we have something that's called Global Leadership Lab. And this is a format that we're very excited about, because this is a format that will run parallel, online and offline. That means online we will have Christoph Hinske in Sweden and Annabelle Membrillo, who's in Mexico. And with us, we will have Ana Claudia, who is a former CEO of a fintech company, which I also like about her a lot. The three of them are working with a paradigm that's called abundance. Abundance meaning it's a whole, it's a philosophy or it's a paradigm of this, how you enter your relationship with the organization, with your team, but also with yourself and with the world. So they will be sharing what are the actual practices of living leadership based on abundance. And what I find really exciting about their work is that they help governments redesign whole ministries. So their work is really on the global scale, and it's on this threshold of business and politics. And this is what they will be reporting from as well. So they will be inviting a couple of leaders they've been working with globally to share stories with us, and they will be inviting us to join the conversation with them to the online conversation. So if you imagine there are those two groups, one group is facilitated online, one group is facilitated offline, and then at some point we meet, and at some point we will split again. So this is us also together with the Institute for Strategic Clarity and Vibrancy Story, and together with you guys, coming up with the richest solutions for blending online and offline collaboration for actual meaningful change. And that's what's happening on the main stage. And then what we got are what we call Emerge Labs. And this is our space for dialogue, reflection, and harvesting insights for expanding the field. What does it mean? The Emerge Labs are also divided into the 4 tracks. And in the Emerge Labs, each lasting an hour and a half, we want to have small conversations, maybe a little bit like World Cafe, a little bit it depends on the person who will be running it. But the aim is to have a conversation about this, what in the subject of, for example, feminine and masculine energies and leadership is happening right now. So to have a dialogue on that, have reflections, and then what is also really important for us is each of these labs will be harvesting insights. We're harvesting insights to both share them with the plenary and the whole group that is there, but also for these insights to inform a publication we will be doing in autumn, where we want to share with leaders, hey, this new paradigm of leadership, and this is how it's called, we hope to know by then, this is how you can describe it, or this is how you can support it, or this is how you can bring it into your organization. Then we have 2 workshop space, and on day 1, you can see at 1 o'clock that there is introduction to holacracy, and at 1 o'clock also there is a for-purpose enterprise. So introduction to holacracy for all of those who have heard about holacracy but actually don't know really what that is, but just have heard this word. And those who know what holacracy is and are really interested in that, there is the crew from ENCODE that are joining us with 2 people. And they basically, what they created is, because Tom Thomason, who is also our keynote speaker on the first day, he's one of the 2 founders of Holacracy One, so this organization that wrote Holacracy Constitution. And at some point, Tom asked himself, okay, holacracy describes how I work inside of the organization and how I get work done, but what about all the other elements of actually running a successful organization? What about all the things related to firing and hiring people, all the things related to social aspects and the money aspects? Because holacracy doesn't tell you anything about negotiating deals and how do you decide who gets paid how much, and how do you decide who gets a raise and who gets a bonus. So with ENCODE, their core focus is to bring in these two missing components, which is the company container on first day, and on the second day, let me just jump real quick, this is the association container. So if you're interested in holacracy and you want to know what's next, then there are two of those like really intense workshops. And if you have heard about holacracy but would have to look it up on Wikipedia, then you can join Gabi Krupa, who is from the Energized team, and she will be given the introduction to holacracy twice, on day 1 and day 2. And what you can see at 2:30 happening on day 1 is also Philip from Hola Spirit will run a workshop where you will be able to put your organization into the holacracy app and actually like enter it there and see what would be the consequences if you describe the roles and tasks and the responsibilities and the structure of your organization inside of a holacracy app. So you will have a chance to prototype your organization, not only inside of the application, but also inside of holacracy, and inspect what would be the consequences and how it looks for you. What's exciting about that? Then we have this space that is the garden space, which is actually in the garden as we're in a park. There's gonna be a team doing acro yoga. You can see their times, but basically there's gonna be there the whole 2 days. And they're gonna be doing their trainings, and they're gonna be there available for any one of us who would like to join them, and who would like to test what is it that acro yoga gives us in terms of a leadership metaphor. And we have here acro yoga and aikido as well. So with acro yoga, we're thinking of all these, I like physics a lot, so I'm always thinking about these, you know, like relativity of what is heavy and what is light. The relativity of vectors you have to apply to sustain a certain weight. If you are living your leadership, then certain things will come to you with lightness, and certain things will be feeling heavy. And how can you change that, or how can you shift that a little bit, bring some movement into there, so that the things that actually you want to do and you need to do, you can do with more lightness. Aikido, on the other hand, is about tripping and falling. So if you trip and fall, how can you make it so that you don't hurt yourself and that you don't hurt the others around you? And I don't know how about you, but us all in the team, we find body as a container that takes us through the world, as such a marvelous master that's teaching us so much that our brain sometimes is too slow to keep up with. That's why we're going to be offering many opportunities to learn through the body for our leadership in the world. At the cafe space, there are going to be individual coaching sessions with Kate Ray from London, who is a well-being specialist supporting both individuals at the workplace and organizations, creating healthy workplaces. So these are sessions that are individual sessions where you will have to sign up to join Kate. And about the signups, I will tell you in a second. And at 8 p.m., we have a garden party, again, with a ritual to kick off the summertime. Yeah, how does that sound, the day 1?
Funny.
Funny. Tell me.
No, very interesting, very interesting. Lots of formats.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you know, because we are sometimes saying that we don't only work with content, but also with context. So we are really aware that that the informations or the stories we bring is just a part of the whole. And the other part is how you bring the story. How do you share it?
Yeah. Could you just scroll back to the formats, to the workshop and things? What exactly is the difference between the workshops and the tinkering space?
The tinkering
Kind of
space. Yeah, I'm just looking at the time and I'm thinking sometimes I get in this mode where I'm a radio station, you know, so I talk a lot. So I thought I'm going to skip this one. But the tinkering space is also something super exciting because it's basically, we had to rename it because workshop is the same in English. But tinkering space is a place where we will have sewing machines, where we will have old jeans, old t-shirts, where we will have old things that are trash already, and where you will be able to make out of them your laptop cases, your phone cases. So this is a space where, in case your head is too full and you need your hands to do something, you can go there and you can have your frontal lobe relax a bit.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ollie is saying, yeah, I prefer reading agendas quietly on my own in a small room. Okay, well, I'm gonna be short then about day 2. With the police
All right. Okay. Okay.
for getting into uncertainty. And now basically I get full certainty because the program is planned from the beginning to the end, which is good. Yeah, in that size, in with that amount of people, you need a kind of structure, and it's okay. Yeah, it's just my personal journey, which got now another pace today by knowing the program. It's okay.
Anya and Aga, how is it for you? What are the qualities you expect, you desire, you envision to experience there?
Should I go first, Agnieszka?
Go.
Okay. I think what I said previously is like for me the space to meet with other people, and the people are most important. Yes, the people and the knowledge, and from maybe I also organized a conference one time, and what people valued and participants told me that there was no barrier between participants and those and for example speakers. That there was space, that the speakers were coming and they had a chat with people. There was a connection. They were not only entering for a 15 or 30-minute speech and they were going back somewhere. Yes. So what I'm really and I see that somehow that these people, they want to join, they want to be with us even for 2 days in some cases, and I expect meeting them afterwards and deepening some points, exchanging some thoughts. This is I think 2 things that are in my mind right now.
For me, it's a big value to meet these people and to hear different perspective and a different experience that people have around the world. It's a big value that people who come to and visit festival that are convinced and they know why they came and what for, and of course it's a surprise because nobody knows what can expect, and this is also very 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 good, but somehow people who understand this leadership that we talk about also a little bit, and we can exchange experience between us. I think will be very valuable. And yeah, as I told, also this perspective to see the different people. Thank you.
You know what, guys, when I'm asking myself the same question, I'm gonna see if I can switch on the video. When I'm asking myself the same question, I'm thinking that the quality that drives me to put so much energy into it is beauty. And I find it amazing that we're living at a time in history where beauty is re-entering the business world, and where beauty and joy and love are your actual compass in making work and making business with people. And I'm very happy that we put love actually as one of our core values, because we first put it, and then I had a call with one of the speakers, with Erwin, I was telling you about, and he was on a conference on Sociocracy 3.0 back then, and was on his phone, so he was holding his phone like that. We all know that the quality of video is like on a train. And we have never met before. And he switched on his video, and his smiley face just beamed at me. And I thought to myself, A, I'm completely in love. B, he doesn't need to say anything anymore. So like bringing in this, where the focused stream of energy that is flowing between people is an actual thing that you can reference, name, and use in your business context, and doesn't need to be something that you're doing on an evening on a Saturday, but it's everywhere there with us. This is for me what I'm expecting, and I'm very often traveling in my mind to this moment when we're standing on stage and opening the festival on day one, and this moment of this first breath before we say the first sentence, and just sensing all the people being there in the room and opening the journey for us all. And for me, the value is the quality, like this quality of creating a space, just this energy we will create by showing up there physically, showing up with our dreams and wishes and purposes and our projections and everything we bring, like just sensing into this space and contributing to the story that's happening in the world, not allowing the story to happen to us, but creating the story of how it's happening in the world and how it's going to move on. Yeah.
Now we can breathe.
Yeah. All right, guys. So it's 6:20. I would like to check before we go to our checkout round. Are there any open questions that you are still carrying with you? Is there anything that would be important for us to address?
Everything's fine
Yeah.
from my side.
I have no questions. In case you have questions, just let us know. We're making sure that we're available to explore the questions together. Not even to have the answers, but just to see together, like, what is it bringing? All right, so I would like to thank you for sharing this hour and a half, and I'm looking forward to sharing more time in June with you in Warsaw. And as a checkout, maybe let's collect this. What was beautiful for you today in our meeting?
Perhaps first of all, thank you very, very much for all the information. For me, it was the first time that I hooked up in a meetup before a conference, and I found it very, very nice, actually. So thank you very, very much.
Great.
And for me also, that was the first time when I not only joined such a meeting, but also met with the situation that somebody, the organizers, are trying to get familiar with the program, with everything. They want to have feedback about their actions. And actually, I find it really creative and really valuable. And it was really nice getting to know each other. I hope you will come to Warsaw and we can meet personal. But it was really nice to spend that hour and a half with you before.
Okay, I would like to thank you guys that you join us today. And for me, I liked today that you had such a open, you were open and you had an open opinion about festival, about program, and you told your what are you thinking and what you expect. Thank you.
So Ollie basically sent the chat already, so I do it verbally. So I found very beautiful to see all of you, and I imagine Ollie is also very beautiful. So I will see maybe in March. And what I enjoyed very much is the ideas you're bringing in with this festival. So re-entering joy, love, and happiness, and whatever into organizations, which is definitely a key point. So, and I'm learning so much with you. This is a lot of beauty, and I would like to continue. And I'm still convinced that this journey is going to be a great journey for me. And yeah. If there is some story about, I will get a fly in on Monday night to Warsaw Molin. Yeah, so if there are other people traveling, maybe we can meet up somewhere as well to meet at the airport or whatever. But this we can organize.
Great. We're connecting everybody on the Emergence community over Facebook. And let's figure out if this is the right way to do that, so that exactly people can do things like that, and request maybe that you bring a special kind of wine from Germany.
It's difficult with Ryanair, huh?
Riesling we have in Warsaw.
Maybe I'll bring a bottle of vodka.
Oh yeah. Okay. We accept this.
So whom I want to share you is my dog. She's been sleeping for the last hour and a half, and she just woke up. So she's hello. Hi. Her name is Joy. She's also connected to us. She was actually on the retreat where I was together with Georg. So she's a facilitator dog. You know what, guys, I really appreciate us sharing this time and having this time, and I'm really appreciating this learning that it brings for me every time, because it's what we're trying to do. It's not something where we go, bam, this is bulletproof, it's awesome, it's amazing, it's gonna bring you results from 5 to 72. But it's something where when people say, like you, Georg, said, well, I'm not sure about this schedule and how it works with the web page. It does make me insecure over and over again, and it does make me question and learning how to live in this realm of ambiguity and not knowing if this what you're doing is the right thing, and saying, well, fuck, this is the best I can do, so I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna breathe through it. And I'm going to own it, and I'm going to work with a lot of humility. So being very curious and open to see what is, and still not going back. So this is for me the biggest takeaway I already see now. from today, but from this process as such. I sometimes call it like one quote that I heard during the Pioneers Festival in Vienna. It's like standing still while your hair's on fire. And this is exactly this thing, you know, like my hair's on fire and I'm just gonna walk on, you know, and so embracing the ambiguity and embracing all the also very humanly emotions that are coming with it, and learning how to not allow it to immobilize me. That's been a journey of that today again, and thank you for that. Thank you, Ollie, for a comment on my hair. You guys have a great Thursday evening, and I'm really, really looking forward to meeting you in June in Warsaw, and just can't wait for it to start.
Great.
Mwah.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
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 Ciao.